Hey Aquarius, welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So this is your August monthly reading. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Please subscribe so you know when new videos are up. And if you're a return subby, I always appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting me and this channel. So I'm going to be pulling a card from the Soul's Journey Lesson deck, and then energy around money, career, love, communication, things you just need to be aware of, and then a card for each week for August, okay? So I've shuffled pretty extensively offline, but I will just shuffle one more time. Okay, Aquarius. Interesting. Okay. We got grief and we got fear. So first and foremost, I feel like things have been changing and evolving. So some things that, especially with the eclipses energy, the fact that we just had a full moon in Aquarius, that we have Jupiter retrograding back into Aquarius, lots of energy with Aquarius. And I'm saying that because I'm an Aqua Sun. I do think that, especially when we release and let go and a lot of things get pulled out of our life that we weren't expecting, sometimes that is hard for us. We are a fixed sign. And there's a little bit of that like longing and wanting for things to be back as they were, almost kind of like this regret type of mentality. And I don't feel like this is grief as in, I mean, yes, as in maybe potentially loss, but it's more of just like it's uncomfortable because things are a little bit unknown right now. And there might be a little bit underlying fear of like not knowing what's going to happen. Here's the thing though, you have to surrender and accept that things are always working out for you. Things are always moving forward in the direction that you need them to move in. And if you let fear, grief, and those feelings of uncertainty run wild, then that's what you're going to attract in. So Aquarius, this is just kind of keeping, I think, more than anything, advice that you really need to take control of your thoughts this month and keep them more on the positive note. So let's see what's going to go on here. And again, I've already shuffled pretty extensively offline, but I will shuffle one more time. Let's see. I really feel like Aquarius for this month, we really need to put action and focus on what we're trying to grow and move forward in our life, because with Jupiter, I'm telling you that what we do now is really going to set the tone for the remainder of the year, okay? So let's see. All right, let's go ahead and pull cards. Spirit, what's going on for love? Nice. Nice. Okay. Okay, interesting. So this month, kind of overall energy, we got 3 of Cups. You know, I think there could be some reconnections that you guys have. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be with family, friends, just reconnecting with former colleagues, people in your life that maybe you've lost a little bit of contact with, and you just are now like, you know what, I need to call that person. Or if you're kind of drawn to do that, that's the universe telling you you probably need to be a little bit more assertive and reach out. Aquarius, we're known for being detached, so sometimes we're not always about the warm, fuzzy feelings, and you know that kind of makes us uncomfortable. So we do need to get a little bit more comfortable in that. Because people want to know what we're up to. People want to know what we're doing, that we're still breathing and we're alive, you know, that type of thing. For some of you, it's like the grief of kind of like, you know, that you've been kind of keeping people at arm's length, maybe fear and how people are going to react. But ultimately, Aquarius, you got this. You know what I mean? You guys are the water bears. We're the water bears. We know how to shift emotion around, and we also know how to communicate very well. So don't be so hard on yourself. I think that this is just something that maybe is taking you a little bit out of your comfort zone. So, overall for your money looks really good. In August, we got the Sun card, which represents Leo, and we're in Leo season. Aqua's money looks really good, that you can grow it, you can invest, you can just make money doing kind of the simplest of things that you really enjoy doing. Aquarius, for some of you, you might be stepping in a little bit more of that divine masculine energy and kind of being a little bit more assertive. I don't want to say aggressive because it's not a negative thing, but just taking a huge lead forward in your financial portfolio and being very, you know, proactive. You're not sitting back and kind of waiting to things happen. You're going with your gut and your intuition. The Sun card is like whatever you put into play has a lot of potential to grow. And the prosperity could come in. So for some of you, it could be some money that comes in out of nowhere. Something that you're a little bit shocked and surprised, but it's still wonderful, right? It's always nice to get money. It's like even finding like a $20 bill and you're like, oh my God, yes. But all I can tell you is that like a little bit of money or a lump sum could come in and it just like, it makes your day and you weren't expecting it. So money looks really good. I don't think I can really top that, right? So for career, Queen of Swords. So interesting, Aquarius. Now the Queen of Swords represents, to me, is a little bit more of that Libra type of energy. The King of Swords to me always represents more of Aquarius, but Queen of Swords can be very independent, very cutting, very direct, very to the point, no nonsense, can be very analytical, looks at all the facts, always goes with her or his gut. In career, for some of you, I think you're coming to a point where you're either like, this is either going to move in a certain direction or I'm cutting my losses and moving somewhere else. Queen of Swords is very much about negotiating, and it's all about, look, I want to have freedom. I want to have a little bit more autonomy. I don't need a micromanager. For some of you, you can be entering into a leadership position. One thing about the Queen of Swords can be tone. And I am very guilty of this. Queen of Swords can have that tone where it's like, ooh, that was probably a little bit more cutting than you meant to be. And again, though, it's like this type of energy knows how to remove emotion, and not everyone knows how to do that. So I would just say this month when it comes to career, watch what you say, how you say it. I think that there's nothing wrong with, putting a line in the sand and being very like to the point. I do feel like I feel like independence is huge here. I feel like this is going to be one of those things where it's like, look, I have a lot of options, or I can create a lot of options. I want to have, autonomy to work from home. I don't need to be in an office every day, or, maybe my travel schedule needs to decrease a little bit, or, whatever the case is. Your scenario is going to be very different for everyone. I would also say that Queen of Swords is very much about not getting in anyone else's BS. Very much about like, look, I'm focusing on myself. I'm working very hard. The Queen of Swords doesn't really talk a lot about what he or she is up to, even in the background. So the Queen of Swords knows how to play the game. Not that she or he enjoys it, but knows how to play the political landscape. Knows what to say to who, a strong curator of words. Let me just put it to you that way. So I definitely feel like you're going to be making a very, black or white decision in career. For some of you, it's staying or going, quitting or leaving. Obviously just be smart to your circumstances. No one is going to be, I got to tell you, if anyone tries to cross you professionally this month, it is going to be a very poor decision on their part. Queen of Swords will just literally cut someone right out of their way if they feel like they're starting to, try to scheme or, do underhanded behavior. Like that doesn't work with the Queen of Swords. So honesty is always best. I do feel like you're going to be very observant in who is around you, what people do and what they say. Also this month for career, I don't know why I need to just say this, but please make sure you cover your ass when it comes to emails. Kind of watch your tone in your emails, but definitely CYA a lot this month because you just never know. And the Queen of Swords is if anything, she is or he is always resourceful and has receipts. Like always, for any occasion, for any situation, the Queen of Swords has receipts, period, end of story. That. So all I'm going to tell you is CYA if you feel drawn to do that. In love and romance, look, we got the Five of Cups, which is never like the best card to get for love. It's actually kind of like sticking in the past of what's been going on, or things that haven't worked out, or relationships that just really haven't come to fruition, or they ended. For some of you, you might be kind of like reliving that or thinking about that, or maybe you've seen them move on and it's hard. I say that because a lot of times when an Aquarius is really good at being the friend, but not always like that intimate lover. And again, feelings are not always our strong point. So this can be kind of reliving some things that have happened in the past, disappointment, loss. And And I think maybe some of this like fear is like, oh, do I want to get myself out there? Do I want to even try? Like some people, when they think about dating, they just like get overwhelmed and they're like, I'm good. I'm good. So for single Aquarians, that might be exactly what's going on. For some of you, you're kind of having this like, it's like this push and pull. Do I get into back in the dating game? Do I even try? Do I want to deal with people's bullshit? Or do I just kind of want to see and fill it out and just let things kind of happen if they do? The thing is, Aquarius, a lot of you, unless you plan on marrying the Amazon or the FedEx or UPS person, I would recommend that you do need to be a little social, okay? For couples, you know, Five of Cups can certainly mean that there is something that has maybe some unresolved feelings or emotions around something that someone said or did, or maybe you feel like, you know, they were in your corner, they didn't support you, they didn't stand up for you. You know, there's some things that are still lingering and that have popped back up, and you realize that, you know, what you thought was, you know, under the rug and you are completely over it, that's not always the case. Here's the thing, if you're in this type of scenario, if you are going to willingly apologize and, you know, agree to disagree or forgive someone, that does not give you the green light to throw it in their face when you get pissed off. So I'm going to say, if there's something lingering and still bothering you, and that something's kind of boomerang back from the past, or it's giving you like past memories of something that could happen again, I'm going to tell you, either it was on your part or theirs, you need to have some communication and get that cleared away. Because what it's going to do, Aquarius, is just going to fester, and then it will linger, and then something small, and you are going to blow up. And something that is, you know, it's like making a mountain out of a molehill, okay? So Aquarius, talk to your partner if you're having some issues. Communication. King of Wands. So based on a lot of things, I do feel like you're going to have a lot of confidence this month, Aquarius. You're going to be, King of Wands is certainly, you know, that leadership quality, you know, saying it with your chest. Very confident, very empowered. You're very, you know, assured. You are completely, you know, you're very sure of yourself. I don't want to say full of yourself. Aquarius, you're very smart, and we typically think we know everything. So, and sometimes we do. Sometimes we just sound intelligent enough to get by. So I definitely feel like people are going to be, you know, kind of like waiting in the weeds to say what you have next, because you really have the room. You really have the ability this month to capture people's attention and to hold their attention. And you have this charisma, this charm about you this month that, you know, like your words are just kind of like butter and they flow. So use it to your advantage, Aquarius. The other thing is, don't let the ego run too wild, okay? This is like, try not to be the know-it-all in the room, because that can easily become intriguing to annoying very quick, Aquarius. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So first week of August, we have Six of Pentacles right under that Sun card. Fabulous. Synchronicity. You know, this is energy flowing in and out. This is giving and receiving. This is I can't even freaking say this word. It's I can't say it. Son of a bitch. It's letting this energy flow in and out. So when it comes to money and it comes to like investments, it's understanding and really coming to terms that what you put out will come back, and it's letting that happen. It's not trying to control it. So Aquarius, this is really, for a lot of you, I really feel like visualizing is a very important tool right now for you. And it is capitalizing on feeling wealthy, feeling that you are deserving of money coming in, that you are, that you know that money flows effortlessly to you. So it's very much about having that in your mind, believing, feeling it, and seeing it, that this is all happening, that, you know, the money in your bank account, you can't even spend. Like, it's just, you kind of have this visual. And I would tell you that, you know, I can only say for me, I've been listening to Abraham Hicks a little bit more. Like, I've gone back and listened to Abraham Hicks. I've gotten some more of the books. And it's just like some of these little tips and practices and, kind of going through this, it helps kind of just to remind yourself how to effectively get into a groove when you're meditating and manifesting and just aligning to everything. Second week, this is a really beautiful energy. You have the 10 of Cups right under the Queen of Swords. So here's where I think some of this grief and fear comes in. For some of you, it is truly, and this could be career related or just relationships across the board. For some of you, it's having some fear or sadness that you have to let certain people go, and certain relationships are just gonna naturally come to their term and their point and in your life, and then you move on and that's okay. And I think some people, it's really hard because you're like, gosh, I've known this person forever and they are my friend, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Correct. Some people's ceiling is your floor. So that doesn't mean you're better than them. It means that you have a different path to follow. You have different goals. You have different ambitions. And the things that get cut out this month are truly things that need to happen. And I think deep down you know that. And that's kind of where that push and pull is. And then also that you really are opening up space for things that are meant to come in your life. Happiness, the right business relationships, the right relationships in general, a happy home, cutting out things that no longer serve you. So even though this is kind of a challenging thing to do, it's really necessary to actually move forward and excel in this next phase in your life, okay? Third week, we got 6 of Cups, a lot of Cups energy. Right under that, 5 of Cups. Okay, for some of you, I think you're getting in your feels a little bit about maybe a potential or a previous lover, maybe an ex, somebody that, maybe kind of you still have a really, really strong connection with. It's kind of like, what do you do? Do I open myself back up to a potential relationship with this person? Am I even willing, for some of you, just to even be open and ready to receive a person or a relationship that could come into your life? And for some of you, it's hard because you're reminding yourself like, well, I did that last time and my heart got crushed and I will never feel again. Oh my goodness, that's how we are with feelings, Aquarius. So for a lot of you, I think you need to use your intuition. And so you see this cat here, it's kind of lingering in the weeds or in the grass. It's almost like it is good to open up and kind of go into a situation with eyes wide open and let things fall where they're going to be. It's not about going into a relationship or meeting a person thinking, well, I don't want anyone ever to lie to me or to not be a trustworthy situation again. You can't control that, okay? What you can control is you and your reaction. And this is almost like having this foresight to say, look, I am smart enough, I trust my intuition, and I'm going to be able to spot red flags. And if they're not the right one, just remove that out of the way so I can make room for the person who's supposed to come in. I do feel like this third week, there's going to be a little bit of this, like trusting yourself. And almost the 6 of Cups is like this childlike type approach to life where you need to allow things to happen naturally. And you need to trust yourself and you need to just go at it with a fresh pair of eyes. Okay, 4th week, tons of confidence moving in at the end of the month. You start with a bang and you end with a bang, Aquarius. You have the Knight of Wands under the King of Wands. The Knight of Wands is all about really rushing forward and charging into something with confidence, being very sure, being very empowered. The creativity surge is just like going through the roof. For some of you, this is something that you're creating and you're trying to like work on the nitty-gritty details, and you're trying to maybe map out how you're going to communicate this or launch this thing, whatever it is. It could be a business, a product, a service. It could be a promotion. It could be, some a side hustle or a hobby or maybe volunteer work, something that you're really passionate about, that you're just going to go in full force and say, this is me and I'm excited about this and I can't wait to share it with the world. So Aquarius, you have a lot going on this month. So don't doubt yourself. Don't let the fear overtake. You're strong, you're confident, you're powerful, and you got this. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram and subscribe on this channel for more insights. And I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Bye, guys.